your message is not, it's about to end. Everyone who didn't buy, go buy. Your message ends up being, there's only 2 left, and then you're only selling 2.
You are now listening to the Creative Juice podcast, brought to you by IndiePRO.io.
What's up, Indies? Welcome back to Creative Juice. This is the podcast where we cover growing and monetizing a fan base and building a music career with marketing strategies that are working right now based on what we see every single day inside our music marketing agency and across our community of thousands of artists and bands. I hope you enjoy and subscribe. This is episode 396, and I'm your host, Jack McCarthy. With me, as always, is Circa to talk about what's coming in 6 weeks. Cirque, what's up, dude?
Not a whole lot, friend. I'm just out here, as I'm sure you are too.
We are out here. And you know what is out there? Just 6 weeks away.
Nice transition.
Yeah. 6 weeks away as we release this episode today, as you're listening to this. Black Friday is nearly upon us, and it's time for preparation and countdown. Super excited. Every year we do a Black Friday episode to talk about Black Friday planning for artists. This is an especially important sales period, and we can talk about why and some of the stats we saw from Black Friday last year and what's been reported out there in the wider business world. But today we wanted to talk Black Friday tactics, give you guys a little bit of a roadmap, some things you can be thinking about as you start the prep, because you should be starting the prep now if you haven't already.
Yeah, it's definitely a good idea to get out in front of any larger sales campaign. Not necessarily because you need to, not necessarily because it's not something you could do in a week, but just because, like, first of all, life's nicer when you do. And second of all, like, it's better if you have, the more nights you have to sleep on it, the better your ideas will be.
Definitely. You know, it's a good point. I mean, like, we've had plenty of artist clients at the agency, especially over the years, who, for better or worse, mostly worse for us as the agency, have held our hands behind our back and made us wait for assets and offers and things like that. And you can get it done in a week, but does your life really suck that week? Yes, it does. Yes, it does, my friends.
It does.
So the point of today's episode is to give you guys some tactics to be thinking about as it pertains to prepping for Black Friday, what you can be working on as we begin the countdown here, because maybe at this point you've already been seeing, you know, Black October or Black November ads. They started really early last year, and I imagine that trend will continue. But I wanted to share some interesting stats. I kind of dug into the numbers a little bit from Black Friday 2024, just to give a picture of what 2025 might look like. There was a data point that Salesforce actually made last year. Black Friday 2024, $74.4 billion spent globally on Black Friday last year, which is wild.
Are we still going up every Black Friday in terms of sales?
We are still going up every Black Friday. One of the stats that was noted was, this one was reported by Adobe. It was between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Black Friday, online shoppers were spending $11.3 million per minute, which is wild.
COVID Black Friday 2021 was 8.9 billion, but by 2022 we were back up at 9.12 and then 9.8 and then last year 10.8.
That's in the US.
Yeah, US Black Friday spending.
So there you go, little dip in 2021. And then the rocket keeps going up.
We went from 7, so you can literally see like a smooth line, and then COVID is just like a, so it was like 7.4 bill in 2019, and then 9 bill in 2020. So the only reason that it was down at all from 2020 to 2021 is because COVID was such a inflation of the, or an acceleration, speeding up of the curve, so to speak.
Yeah. And I mean, there was when was the first stimulus check for COVID was in April, right? 2020.
Yeah. It was right before, or like right at the beginning of the summer of 2020.
We had the stimuli going on still.
The stimulations.
Yep, the stimmies.
And like, you might be thinking, like, if you've never watched this show before, you might be thinking,
why are they talking about this?
wow, what does this have to do with me? I'm not an e-tailer. And it's like, well, yar. And that's one. And then two, no matter what, this is not a like specific to some business stat. It just is the case that as a business that transacts online, you will just have your sales will be lumpy throughout the calendar year, and the biggest lump is in November. It just is.
Yeah. Yep.
End of November into beginning of December is the lump. And so for some businesses, it can be 25% of your annual revenue is in 1/12 of the calendar. And so literally, if you're not running any sales on Black Friday, you might have less lumpy sales throughout the year, but I highly doubt that for the average person who could do a Black Friday sale, that if you, in lieu of a Black Friday sale, that it would all net out, like that you would just have more sales throughout the year. And, it would just be an even like redistribution of the excess that you would get from Black Friday. You have to be clocking less than you could on an annual basis. I would assume. I don't have any hard numbers on this by industry or anything like that. I know Thrive Themes doesn't run sales and they don't do Black Friday sales. Instead, on Black Friday, they just announce that they're not doing a Black Friday sale and they talk about why, which is cool. It's like, if you're not going to do a sale,
little anti-narrative. Yeah,
exactly. Use the attention. And it stands out so much so that I read a whole article on why this company's not going to give me a deal. But like, I highly doubt that they're making the same money as if they did like sales. You know what I mean? Maybe not like that much less than you'd think, but still less. So just to say that, like, if you're watching this, like, and you don't do Black Friday sales, like if you have any merch or like music to offer whatsoever, like run a sale on Black Friday. You're going to make more money for the year. I feel pretty confident, pretty uncontroversial.
That's the simplest reason that we do this annual Black Friday episode every year. You stand to make more from running a Black Friday sale, and so we're here to tell you that you should.
Yeah, like if these episodes didn't cause like a few people at the very least to run a Black Friday sale where they wouldn't have, and that didn't cause those people to make more money, trust me, we would not be rehashing shit that we've talked about like 8 separate times or maybe more. Like, that's not fun for us, but it's good for you. So we do it anyway.
Dude, all the things that we have rehashed over the years, I think I enjoy rehashing Black Friday the most. Like, it's a fun one to talk about.
Different strokes for different folks, man.
Yeah. 100%. Well, here's one interesting final Black Friday stat, and this goes beyond Black Friday, actually, was that Cyber Monday sales were up last year as well by 0.9 billion, which is a nice fancy numbers way of saying up $900 million, which is awesome. And that was a stat from Adobe as well. So Cyber Monday growth too, which brings the point about talking about extending your Black Friday sales. It goes beyond just Black Friday. You can go into, the Small Business Saturday, the weekend, Cyber Weekend, I think they call it, into Monday, into the rest of that week, Cyber Week. You can certainly extend your sales, and you probably should.
I would even say, like, dude, we have a sales period that lasts from like the Friday after Thanksgiving for 1 to 2 weeks thereafter. And it made sense to differentiate these two when you had a clear split between online retailers and physical only retailers. Physical only retailers just had Black Friday. You come in the Friday after Thanksgiving, you get a massive deal. And then all of the online retailers would have Cyber Monday, which started as one day and then became Cyber Week. But they also all do Black Friday, and all the formerly physical only retailers also all do online sales now, and they all do Cyber Week. So it's like, let's just call this like post Thanksgiving sales period.
Yeah. This is your first big holiday sale of the, or I guess this is your end of the beginning of your end of the year holiday sales.
Yeah, 100%. It's post Thanksgiving sale.
And for what it's worth, to give you guys some tactical advice from the agency as well, a lot of the sales that we start for our agency clients start before Black Friday itself. A lot of times they'll start on the Friday before Black Friday or the Monday before Thanksgiving here in the States.
I always hate it when a company is like, this is our pre-Black Friday. And it's like, bro, you're playing dirty pool right now.
We never call it that. That's gross. We just say what it is. It's the Black Friday sale. It's starting early. We're starting early because we want to have turkey with our families on Thanksgiving. And so we're starting
I hate that companies, this is the one thing I think is a hubris of companies that are doing Black Friday sales. Dude, no one is tracking the phases of your Black Friday sale, right? It's like no one's tracking that. And the fact that you say our pre-Black Friday is this introduces all this anxiety into the customer's mind because they're like, do I buy this or should I wait for them to announce the Black Friday or do I wait for Cyber Week? Wait, what was pre-Black Friday? Dude, I'm not tracking that. I'm not going to, like, you got my attention. Just be like, we have one sale. It's for this long. Here's what it is.
Yeah.
Just do that.
I'm in huge agreement with that. And I've actually arm wrestled with I think there's a pattern that goes on where a lot of businesses have done that historically. Like you see that all the time where it's like our pre-Black Friday sale is this, our Black Friday sale is this, our our Small Business Saturday sale is this, our Cyber Week sale.
They most often will like bury the lead and like be like, on Black Friday we'll tell you what the Black Friday sale is. It's like, dude, then I'm not buying your pre-Black Friday, obviously.
Yeah, I've arm wrestled with a lot of artists over the years where they're like, oh, but shouldn't we save this one certain thing for Black Friday itself? And I'm like, no, probably not. Like, that's just going to make your fans antsy. Like, I would rather you just have everything ready to go. And so often, at least from my perspective, so often it comes from lack of preparation, that causes the breakup of the offers versus like some sense of needing to do it that way.
Yeah, resist the masculine urge to foist cognitive load onto your consumers, right? Like, try to make things really dumb simple for people, and you'll do way better, I think.
Yeah. Here, I'll this is actually a really nice transition into like additional tactical points about offers here is rather than breaking up your Black Friday offers based on time and saying like, you know, before Black Friday, we're going to offer this. And then on Black Friday, we're going to offer that. And then on Cyber Friday, we're going to offer something else. Instead of doing that, break up your offers by your fan segment so that you're speaking to people based on where they're at. And what I mean by that is think about offers that you can make to your existing customers, to people who have spent a lot of money with you that would probably want to spend a lot more. Think about people who have never bought anything from you online. You could make specific offers to them and so on and so forth. That's how you want to segment your offers, not based on time, based on avatar.
We've had Black Fridays at IndiePRO where we have an internal concept of phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And you might think like, isn't that what you just said not to do? Phase 1 was only seen by phase 1 audience. Phase 2 was only seen by phase 2 audience. This is phase 1, phase 2 for us, but for them, it's just the sale. And I think that's right because you're giving people a single thing to focus on and even understand and comprehend. Like, dude, the fact that anyone stops and then comprehends your sales message, even like for one product, is miraculous. Like, oh my God. That can really happen. They'll stop and listen to me tell them about why they should buy my thing. Oh, here's an idea. Let me make it 20 things and let me stagger them out. I'll tell you what thing like 5 through 10 is next week. Here's thing 1 through 5. like that's so insane. So yeah, I agree with that is segment up. And to reduce complexity for yourself in operating it, you can stagger it out by time, but just like the message is always to the audience member, there's this one thing or these. Another thing I thought you were about to say was you could break it up by quantity. So you could have like, let's say you were going to do different offers on different days or like deepen a discount or whatever, like make it just one short list of things that you're discounting. We have a bundle, and then 3 products. But there's only this many, and then like you list next to them their quantity. And when they're out, they're out, and Black Friday's over. I'm sorry you missed it.
Yeah, we've done that before.
And what that will do for you is because like the emphasis is on you to run a 7 to 14 day sale in which all the sales are going to come on the last day. They're all going to come on the last day. But when you do quantity, it inverts that a little bit. Like you still will get a rush, but it won't be lumpy in terms of like, it'll be more predictable because like your message is not, it's about to end. Everyone who didn't buy, go buy. Your message ends up being there's only 2 left and then you're only selling 2. So I think it's helpful to do it by quantity, even if you're just doing one thing, because that way you're adding this level of urgency that it doesn't have all of the shortcomings of doing a time-based urgency only.
Yeah, I agree. And especially around a sales period like Black Friday where everybody else is advertising, the more you tap into someone's buying power early is a positive thing for you. And so any mechanism for doing that with like scarcity, quantity-based scarcity
yeah.
is the right move for sure.
I mean, logically, when you do quantity based, like, so we have 2 types of anxious, neurotic pressure to put on your customers. Okay. We have time based, meaning it will end at a certain date at a certain time. And then we have quantity based. And these are typically referred to as urgency, time based, and scarcity, quantity based. They're both the same exact concept, kind of, except it's just like, how do they expire? And the thing about scarcity is that it's more powerful than urgency, hard stop. But also, if you have like 10 firms, 5 of them are doing scarcity, 5 of them are doing urgency. You present all 10 messages to a set of consumers, you're going to find an uneven distribution towards scarcity. And the reason is that they can wait for the urgency. It's not ending today, but they don't know if they can wait for the scarcity.
Right.
It's a big question mark. Are people going to rush to buy this thing? It's basically you betting on other people's behavior rather than the certainty of like a clock or a calendar. So I think scarcity is like the preferable play. It does, however, limit your upside if you're wrong. But if you're just like, don't be wrong. Like, don't be wrong about how many units you could sell,
Right.
which like, is not hard to do. You could just kind of overshoot, add a little padding on the upside, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, 100%. Going even further beyond urgency and scarcity, something else that I want everyone to think about when it comes to Black Friday is like, we talked about how Black Friday is just an opportunity for you to tap into like sales consciousness. It's going to be happening no matter what, whether you choose to partake and reap the benefits of it. But one powerful thing that I think every artist can do, I mean, a lot of businesses don't do, and a lot of artists don't do, is like you can have a secondary narrative woven into your Black Friday sale, whether that's a launch, whether it be a re-release, whether you just have a reason why beyond the Black Friday reason why.
Yeah, you might not even have to mention Black Friday because really, like, people are not like, the benefit is not that you get to mention Black Friday. The benefit is that everyone's got their credit card out ready to buy stuff.
So if you can make a narrative that's tied to you and your audience specifically, that pulls them in even more than just a standard Black Friday sale message, then your ability to capture their attention ahead of anybody else, or for a longer amount of time, or for a higher dollar figure goes up. And I think I really think that that's worth considering. Like, what do you have going on in your music career that you could weave into the narrative of your Black Friday sale? Or what do you have upcoming? Because if you can do that, it's a huge opportunity. I mean,
make it the whole narrative. Like, don't even say the words Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Like, just
totally.
Yeah. Run a sale. Yeah. Totally.
Or you can even take, again, like this is kind of like taking a counter narrative similar to, you said it was Thrive Themes, that says like, this is why we don't run a Black Friday sale. You don't have to say we're not running a Black Friday sale. You could say something like, we're doing something a little different than Black Friday, or I'm doing something a little different than Black Friday, and this is what it is. So if you still want to have the Black Friday mentioned in there for whatever reason, that's another way that you could position.
Or tap into people's fatigue. I hate Black Friday. Here's what we're doing instead.
Yeah, for sure. One of our clients, he has over the years adopted Orange Friday because it's one of his brand colors. So he never uses the term Black Friday. We always use Orange Friday every single year.
Nice. And is a branding tie-in. Another thing that you should know about, in case this is your first a scarcity play, if you're going to take that advice from this episode and do that for Black Friday, one thing you run into with scarcity is the initial set of sales, because you get, the thing about scarcity is it gives you a reason. Another benefit of it is it gives you a reason to communicate multiple times. So does urgency. You can say like, hey, just a week left, but just a week left is not that compelling. Just a few days left is not that compelling. The real only opportunity it gives you is there's one day left, or it's today. That's like the one where you really get like a reason to mail that's compelling. But with urgency, it's different because like the anxiety ratchets up as the number dwindles down.
Right.
But
Yeah.
the thing that you can run into is it could be day like 7 and you have 0 sales. And the thing is that like, if you don't get any sales in the first few hours, like I like to keep a counter on the site where people would go check out the offer and update it religiously. So if we get any sales, I'm going to decrement that, right? Or we can auto decrement it if the technology is there. But I just like it to be the case that if you click on the link, you can see how many are left, which adds to social proof. You know, in my email, it said this amount, and then you go to the page and it's a lower amount. You already know people are buying. So you're not alone in buying if you buy. But if you see it in the email, it's been a day, you go to the website and it's still the same number. That's not a good look.
Yeah.
And it only gets worse as time progresses. And so one thing that I picked up along the way is that you can add another tier of urgency. You could say, and the first 10 or and the first 5 I will sign, or something like that.
Some kind of bonus.
Right. And then like, reminders are for people who didn't read the first one. You're not reminding anyone they didn't read the first one, chances are. So you can remove the messaging about that so people don't feel as if they missed out and there's no point in taking the offer now. You don't have this anchoring effect where they're like, well, I learned about an offer that had this and now it doesn't have that. So it seems less valuable for the same money. So all you do is you just remove that messaging from subsequent follow-up. So now you have the numbers down. People are buying. You don't have to lie about that. These are people like, just arbitrarily decrement the number. You don't have to lie about that. And there's no anchoring effect where people feel as if like they missed out on the deal and this deal isn't really a deal. Good little, we like to speak not only strategically but tactically as well.
That's a good tactic. That's a great tactic, sir.
Yeah.
That's a super good.
Yeah.
Speaking of tactics, and this is the last set of things that everyone should be thinking about when it comes to Black Friday, is like, if you want to maximize the touch points that you have with your fans, you should be thinking about, one, what you're doing organically around your Black Friday sale, because I see too many artists not do anything with organic around Black Friday sales. I think it's because they think sales is yucky, and it's not. But every Black Friday, I get emails and then I look on socials and I see nothing. So you should consider organic and what you can be doing to push your sale that way. One way I really often recommend, especially if you've got like a launch narrative tied around your Black Friday offers, is do an unboxing video live of the merch that you're going to be sending people and show it to them and be like, this is what we've got. Look, it's in our warehouse here. We're unboxing it. We're seeing it for the first time. The cart's open. So you kind of do that as a cart opening sort of moment. That can work really, really well. That's great for organic, especially if you can do it live. It makes it fun. It makes it interactive. And you certainly should be queuing up advertising, and email marketing should have multiple touch points from point of announcement or even pre-announcement, like hyping people up just a little bit, to announcement, reminders, cart close, last chance. You should have multiple touch points. I feel like that goes without saying, but then again, when we studied the Billboard Hot 100 artists, we saw how few of them were doing multiple touch points in their email marketing about sales of any kind. So you absolutely should consider it. That's probably the biggest lever of sales ability when it comes to email marketing, is the number of touch points that you have, bar none.
Yeah, I especially think it's important. I've heard a lot of people say that young people don't even have email addresses. So you definitely need social. No, I kid. Young people use email more than old people. I know that's shocking to some of you, but it is the case. But that said, yeah, that effect that Jack had where he went from email, got the offer, went to social. It's a barren wasteland. Like, it's not just because he was a marketer and he was checking up on it. It's because it's real. And it's a concept that some marketers might be familiar with by another stripe, which is ad sent.
Mm-hmm.
When I click on your ad, every experience I have thereafter mirrors it. So I never have a break in the continuity of message and of brand. Well, the same thing can happen from any other platform to any other platform. So if I get an email from you that's about a certain thing, it seems like this is what your brand is about right now. And then I go to your social and I go to your website and there's not even a hint of it. That's very eerie. Like, it's disconcerting. So you definitely want to be omni-channel in any sales, like time limited, urgency or scarcity based sales effort. You want to have a continuity of message across all of your different channels. Email is super important. A full on like plan for email, a schedule is super important. And I think that your touch points on other platforms should mirror that to a degree.
I agree. Yeah.
But with different rationale, because you can just email people to send information, but to a degree, certain platforms have to have a different content of the message.
For sure, yeah. And we did a whole episode a while back on AdSense. We'll link to that in the show notes. So if you guys need a refresher on AdSense or want to go a little bit deeper onto the finer details of it, that's a really good one. I think you'll dig it. But this is it. This is the tactics as Black Friday 2025 looms ahead of us, 6 weeks away. I hope you guys are building some cool offers. If you are, shoot us a note. Let us know what they are. I'd love to hear about them and maybe buy something from you when it comes time for Black Friday. So let us know what you guys are doing. Hope this was helpful. Start prepping for Black Friday now. And we'll see you guys next time on Creative Juice. Peace out, Indies.
East Coast, West Coast,